Hey guys, Preston here with Lee Security. I just wrapped up a security detail with our church's American Heritage Girls group, and it sparked an idea for this episode. Why? Because it's fall, and lots of churches are probably just like mine, and they're going to do some offsite trips with kids groups or youth groups. They're going to go to corn mazes and apple orchards. And if your church, if your homeschool group or youth ministry ever takes kids offsite, you need to think more like a protector, not just like a chaperone. It's easy to assume that field trip means it's going to be relaxed, means it's going to be easy. But off-site trips actually introduce a whole new layer of risk. You have new environments, you have unpredictable crowds, people that you don't know, and a mix of parents and volunteers who are all trying to manage a group of moving children.
Herding cats. Don't let anybody tell you it's easy.
So today I'm giving you 5 quick security tips that help your next offsite kids trip stay safe, smooth, and stress-free. But before we get into the list, you know what to do. If you find value in this video at any moment, do me a favor and hit the like button. That does more than you could ever know. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you're concerned about the safety and security of your local church, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video right here on this channel just for people like you. Lastly, consider sending this specific video to your kids or your youth pastor. It just might make all the difference between creating memories and causing trauma. And if I can be vulnerable just for a minute, when I was in high school, our church took a group of boys camping and we weren't so lucky. A little boy who was embarrassed about his inability to swim snuck away from the group to try to teach himself how to swim. And the story ended in tragedy that none of us have fully recovered from. So while this list of tips might seem elementary or even just a little silly sometimes, they really matter and could make a big difference in the outcome of your trip. So let's go ahead and get into this. The first tip is to know your numbers. Before the bus leaves, you should know exactly how many kids are going and which volunteer, which adult is going to be responsible for each one of those kids. This is going beyond permission slips, which should be a given. This is about creating a roster with the parent contact information, with medical concerns that are listed, and who has permission to pick up the children. Once you do that, assign every volunteer that you have a specific group of kids. So if you've got 20 kids and 5 adults, that's some simple math is going to tell you each adult is going to have 4 kids. They're not going to have one big herd of chaos. When you have one big herd, kids are going to slip away, which is exactly what happened to the child in the story I mentioned just a few moments ago. To go one step further, make sure each volunteer, every leader can account for their group within 10 seconds at any given moment. That should be your standard. If a child gets separated, and it can happen, and it can happen fast, you don't want to panic. You want protocol. Before the trip, designate a rally point, a single location everybody returns to if any one person gets lost. You want to train your leaders, your group leaders, to pause movement immediately. You want to alert other group leaders and use code words for missing children situations so you're not unnecessarily alarming all of the kids. You want to use clear language and a calm tone, but respond with immediate action. Tip 3 is to preview your location. In personal protection work, this is what we call doing in advance. If we're trying to protect a VIP, maybe a celebrity or a politician, we want to run background checks on anybody that could possibly be a risk or be a threat. Now, you don't have to run a bunch of background checks because you shouldn't have any one person that is a threat to your group. But what you can do is you can do in advance for your team or for your group. This is how you do it. Before your trip starts, scout the location that you're going to. Going in person isn't always possible, but using online resources like Google Earth can really help you prepare. That's what we do in the industry. If you're going to a location that's large, like a zoo, and you can't find a resource to help you scout out the location, maybe because there are lots of trees and you just can't see the walkways, give the zoo a call and have their on-site security help you identify entry points and exit points, where the restrooms are, where the food courts are, and what areas kids are most likely to get separated in. You can also ask a simple question like, is there anything a group like ours should be aware of or should be concerned about? That question might open your eyes to some things that you otherwise would have been completely blinded to. Every leader needs to be able to communicate instantly. If you can, use some two-way radios or walkie-talkies, as people call them. If those aren't accessible to you, make sure every leader has each other's cell phone numbers saved and you test your calls before you leave the parking lot. That way you can communicate quietly and efficiently if something comes up. Lots of people run into this problem. They think the trip is over once you get all the kids back on the bus. But the problem is, it's not over just because you got all the kids back on the bus. Your trip is over when every kid is safely back with their approved guardian. With that in mind, set up a controlled pickup zone when you return to your church. Use your roster that you made before you left to check kids out by name. Never hand a child off just because somebody claimed to be a friend or they claimed that their relative, that their parent forgot to mention that they were going to be picking them up. That final handoff is part of your protection duty, and it needs to be treated in that way. Listen, we all want our kids to have incredible experiences. We want them to learn and explore and grow in their faith. But every offsite trip is a chance to show that ministry and security aren't opposites, they're partners. When we plan well, when we train well, and we stay situationally aware, we're not just keeping kids safe. We're building trust with families who will know that their church takes children's safety seriously. If this video was helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your kids ministry or your security team. And if you want to go deeper, check out our Lead Security Master Training at leadsecurity.com. We cover child safety protocols, emergency communication plans, and just so much more, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay alert, stay ready. I'll see you in the next video.